Hello, listeners, and welcome to another edition of Underdog Hockey Pod with yours truly, Kurt. And tonight here with the boys once again with Tyler.
Good to see you guys.
And Brad.
How's it going?
All right, boys, it is the best time of year in hockey, and I don't know about you fellas, but I am absolutely thrilled.
You sound it. You sound freaking thrilled right now.
Thanks, Tyler. Before we get started, let's start off the right way. And we are drinking some Sleeman Honey Brown Lager today, folks. Thought I'd upgrade a little bit, stay away from the cheaper beers and, upgrade. It's a special occasion. The playoffs is a big deal. It is an absolute treat. The first round especially is always extra fun. You have a lot of competition, a lot of talking, a lot of buzz, a lot of hype. You can't go wrong. I know I'm certainly excited as myself as being an Islanders fan, but, we'll get into that a little later.
I'm fired up, boys. I'm fired up.
How about you, Brad? You fired up?
No, my team's not in the playoffs.
You're so bad you couldn't even get the first round pick?
No. Well, we're not bad enough.
Not bad enough, I guess. Anyway, that's a different episode.
Yeah, it's different. Fuck the lottery.
I hear some bitter stuff from there, Groggy.
Well, his team won.
Yeah.
Team won the lottery big time a few years ago.
We did, but we drafted Line.
Yeah, you should have taken Piori.
Yeah, no, that would have been so much better.
So much better. All right, so gonna go east to west today. No, west to east. Sorry. And we're gonna start off with the Pacific Division with a very, very fascinating matchup: the Flames, the old Calgary Flames, versus the Colorado Avalanche. Now, Colorado was a team that kind of just squeaked in there last minute. They were nearly chased down by the Arizona Coyotes, which, truth be told, in my opinion, I thought would have been pretty sweet to see the Oties back in there because they've had quite an absence when it comes to the playoffs in a little while. So, no complaints here. But, as did it, they're the better team, so props to them. But they've got a big hurdle to climb in terms of when it comes to the Calgary Flames. They're a high-powered team, a lot of offense, a good decor, and questionable goaltending. But what's your thoughts, boys?
I'm really looking forward to seeing the one of the best lines in hockey going up against Calgary's pretty good top four defense and shaky goaltending. That one's going to be really fun.
I can imagine we're going to see a lot of goals in that series.
I think so too. On both sides. I mean, you could say because Calgary has a pretty damn good first line. I mean, Lindholm, he was kind of pulled off that line a little bit late down the stretch, and then Colorado's goaltending is something to brag about either. It's kind of hit and miss, and their defense is
The funny thing is both teams have been flip-flopping between starters.
Yeah.
Like Grubauer took the reins in Colorado lately, the last couple of weeks of the season there.
Grubauer was he had that in the beginning of the season playoffs last year. He was starting goal for a bit there for Washington until they pulled the plug on him and put Holtby back in net.
Yeah, game 1 or 2, and then they pulled him for Holtby.
Yeah, but like I said, I do feel unless you fellas disagree, one could argue that in terms of scoring from both teams, this is going to be the highest one.
Out of all the series.
Yeah, like per game, like
Highest scoring?
Yeah.
I mean, depends how many goals Tampa Bay beats up on.
But I mean like both by both sides.
I think it'll be the most entertaining.
Like 5-4, 5-3.
Has the potential for that, yeah.
Yeah, because you got they're both high flying teams. They're both fast, and not that Rattanen's really done a lot lately, but if McKinnon can kind of set them up and take kind of the reins of scoring, as you've mentioned, Brad and Kroggy, is that once McKinnon gets in close on either it's Smith or if it's Riddick, the lamp's gonna be lit a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be Giordano versus McKinnon because McKinnon is the most electrifying. You can say a lot of things about Goudreau, but just one-on-one, like McKinnon can rip a puck from 45 feet out. Goudreau can't do that.
No,
he's not as explosive as McKinnon. So Giordano can shut down McKinnon. Colorado's chances just evaporate when in the series.
But he is a fast.
He is so fun to watch. I'll be watching this series.
Daniel Briere described him many years ago when he first saw McKinnon. He's like, that kid looks like he's looking fast forward.
Yeah.
Like that's how fast he was saying in French how he was describing how he just watching his stick handling and carrying the puck down the line, how he just unreal hand speed in terms of how quickly he can deke through people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little breakdown of the regular season record. Head to head, Calgary went 3-0 over Colorado this year. One was in a shootout, I believe. But, no. Calgary got the sweep in the season series.
Yeah.
We'll
Take
see.
that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, we'll see if that carries over into playoffs.
Well, we know
obviously, it's a totally different game.
It is.
I think Calgary obviously has the depth up front and on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many bottom six forwards can you name on Colorado right now?
We tried it before. We can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't. Yeah, no, I can't do it either. I'm sorry.
they're not exactly the hottest known commodities back there, but
This isn't 2001 Colorado Avalanche, I'm afraid.
yeah.
No.
So I think it'll be an interesting series for sure. Should be quick.
Getting a playoff spot and the 4th overall pick. That's a pretty good year for anybody.
That's a solid year.
Sneaking in that wild card.
Yeah.
Second to last day of the
So,
season, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun series. It's going to be a fun series.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. All right.
Next.
We get to renew the rivalry between the Sharks and the Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, the Pacific Division 2B3 matchup.
Yeah.
San Jose and Vegas, which is a rematch of last year's
Second round.
second round
Yeah.
matchup, right?
Truth be told, a brief story when I was in Vegas for their home opener, their first ever regular season game. I remember getting off the shuttle to go to the building, and some people from Sharks were like, "Sharks rule, Vegas. Who cares about this team? Blah blah blah. Go Sharks!" And I was like, "A bunch of pricks." But anyway, that's my own animosity. Should be a very, very heated matchup, though. There's been a lot of bad blood going around, at least with these two teams whenever they meet in the regular season. Vander King got suspended last year for hit on William Carrier, who's usually a fourth line grind kind of player, very physical. The Sharks have, they had a rough go. That was an interesting series to watch, nonetheless. It was super physical. It was very exciting to watch in terms of scoring. A lot good goaltending on both sides, except for Fleury definitely outplayed Jonesy in that one, in that rematch. But regardless, it should be pretty much a big thriller to watch. Very, very physical, hard-hitting hockey. What's your thoughts, boys?
I think, I was listening to radio, San Jose, their greatest strength is probably their defense. And it's funny, their defense combined has scored 28 goals in the entire regular season. 16 of them are from Brent Burns. They only scored, as an entire unit, they only scored one more goal than the Canucks from the blue line. That's, and considering the names they have on their blue line, it's amazing that their defense has been that meh. Outside of Burns, goal scoring wise. And that's really Carlson's got to be whatever he was mysteriously gone for a month and a half. He's got to be he has to be better.
Especially for any kind of draw if he does decide to leave San Jose as well.
Well, yes, for his own sake, his health, San Jose's chances at this series, he has to play 2017 Carlson, at least half that, if they want a chance. Because Fleury's going to be in the zone, and Jones and Dell, they got to stop the first shot.
Yeah,
If they don't start stopping the first shot, they don't have a chance.
Yeah, I agree with that. Again, just like the last series, goaltending is going to be very interesting in this series. Obviously, Fleury should get the start. I'm pretty sure he's back now.
He
missed the last couple of weeks of the season there.
Well, he was injured and he also had a new kid, so they kind of just let him save himself.
So he hasn't really... He's out of his rhythm now.
He is 34.
He's
so
getting
up there.
too. Yeah. And then San Jose is the worst combined save percentage of their two goalies.
Yeah, by
season.
far, by
Right.
any of the playoff teams, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
You would argue that they actually do have the worst starting goaltending in the league.
But Jones has always played better in the playoffs. So
Yeah, he's always been a
can he
playoff
flip the switch?
He flipped the switch well, even though losing effort to Pittsburgh in the finals.
Well, I think that's what San Jose is. They're sweating bullets. Can he do it again? Because he was pretty mad against Vancouver a few weeks ago.
All their hopes are on Jones picking it up.
It's for San Jose. And this series, it's all in Jones. If Jones doesn't win in many games, but doesn't lose many games, San Jose can win the series.
Yeah, as long as he.
Fleury might have to be better to win. You know what I mean? As long as Jones is average, not just shit. If he's average, their team in front of them should just their forward group, and they can score goals at will. They're so deep.
They are
Very, very strong offensive team. Which brings me up to my next point here about how This may be a rematch of last year's series, but there's a lot of new faces on both teams. A lot of big name players. Obviously, San Jose got Erik Karlsson in the offseason.
And
They got
Gustav
Nyquist at the deadline.
Good addition.
Sneaky third line addition.
Yeah.
Vegas obviously had the biggest trade deadline addition, bringing in Mark Stone, and he's fit in well on that second line.
Well, they also grabbed Stasny.
Yeah, they got Stasny too, and Pacioretty.
Yeah.
They've got a whole new
30-plus line.
Whole new quote-unquote second line, yeah.
That's why it was called.
It's a big line. They're smart, but they're not fast. So
I think they could be an effective line in playoffs.
they might be, but if San Jose can somehow push the pace, they might neutralize that line.
You can't help but feel that's the point of the whole Carlson, Massachusetts, and Smith line, though, is to get the speed going.
Well, yeah, for their line, but when they go off the ice, that line goes on, and San Jose's picking up the pace.
Yeah.
They might not be able to keep up for a 7-game series.
Yeah. Should be fun, though.
But
should be very interesting.
It's going to be a good series. I'm not exactly as interested in that series as others, but it's going to be a fun one. I want to see San Jose.
I'm interested because it's going to be big physical hockey. And I love big physical hockey. There's they're all going to be physical, obviously, but there's maybe 5 series that are going to be especially
more so than others.
Yeah, that one. Yeah,
especially when they've met.
Yeah, and they've got that rivalry going in their divisional.
Yeah. Well, they bad blood
opponents. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a fun series. Lots of crash and bang hockey.
I don't remember if I had mentioned this already, but Vegas took the season. Well, the season series was 2-2, 2 wins for each of them.
Yeah.
I was at one of them, and they lost. Sounds they lost 6-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kept playing the scene where Jaws gets shot and blows up in the movie. It was pretty funny. There's a really nice San Jose Sharks fan beside me. Who's really cool. We had some good talk. Anyway,
good stuff.
Good stuff. Hockey. All right, now we move over to the old Central Division. We're getting some pretty, especially in this lineup here with Nashville. Really, some super Southern hockey over here.
Yeah, actually.
You want to know a fun fact, fellas?
What's that?
All right, I'll tell you. So, ironically enough, Dallas back in the day was the North Stars, right? Nashville used to have a team, and they were called the Southern Stars. That was their minor league team. So it was kind of weird. No, not really.
Yeah, they both had stars in the name.
Yeah. Well, there was the minor team. It was ironic that their franchise had a minor team. Their old franchise had a minor team in that franchise. Yeah. And they're the same name. But anyway, enough of that. Regardless, Nashville, Dallas should be an interesting one as well. Everyone's kind of curious what Dallas is going to put forth.
You were talking about how you thought Calgary, Colorado could be the highest scoring series. I think this has the potential to be the lowest scoring series.
The most boring series.
Yeah, this should be defensive specialist hockey in this one.
Well, given their decor that Nashville has,
both goalies put up spectacular save
Dallas
percentage this year.
Score goals.
Dallas is very top heavy. They've got 4 guys that can produce any offense.
Well, they got Klingberg too, who's a defensive defenseman.
He was one of the ones I included.
Oh, well, sorry, my bad. But regardless, though, it should be pretty tight-knit hockey in terms of just a level. My only question mark I have for that, we do have Rene's sort of questionable playoff record in terms of he had that kind of a folding up experience when he was playing against Colorado last year. Who was again another weaker team or lower seeded team, and they had Andrew Hammond in net, for God's sakes. Nothing against him; he's an awesome. I think he's a good story, but I'm really interested to see how that kind of pans out. Then I'm also interested to see how the Dallas goaltending goes with Ben Bishop and Khudobin. You've got the tallest goalie in the league and one of the shortest goalies in the league in the same tandem.
They've been a good tandem for them.
Yeah, they have. Khudobin's always been a competitor, and Ben Bishop, I don't know if he's as good as he was with his Tampa Bay days, but he's still a solid.
He's been amazing this year, but he's kind of stay healthy.
Yeah.
For Nashville, just like Winnipeg, they've been meh for almost the entire year. Yeah, they were so meh. The worst placed team on January 1st almost won their division in St. Louis. They've been that meh. They gained up that much ground.
St. Louis, well, we're not going to talk about. Okay, we're not going to talk about St. Louis,
but they only won this division by 1 point in the end.
Yeah.
So if Dallas had one more win, they would be first place. It was that tight.
If any of these teams even got if Winnipeg took one more game to overtime, they would have got first place. Just based off rows.
But these two had lost, they won, they would have took first place.
Yeah.
For Nashville, they've been so mad, and they've had such a horrendous power play all year round. I don't know how you're that bad. 30th with all that talent, and the rest of the teams in the NHL that have worked with a whole lot less and can do a whole lot more, something's going on in Nashville, chemistry-wise or coaching-wise.
Maybe Let's not thinking hard enough.
If they get knocked out in the first round, second round, Lavallette's probably getting fired.
They've got a good team. Like, really, like, I think a lot of people have forgotten, like, if you look up and down Nashville's lineup, they are not
paper.
On paper, they're not. They are a fantastic team.
Well, I'm looking at right now. Granlund played 16 games. He's got 1 goal.
Yeah, and
5 points.
With that,
he's been a non-factor. Wayne Simmons, he was picked up. He's slowing down. What's he at? He's got 1 goal in 17 games and 3 points. So they've both been non-factors and combined over 30 games and 2 goals.
Yeah, they took a big risk. They picked up 2. Would you call them top 6 or top 9 forwards?
I think
they
Granlund's top 6, Simmons top 9.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. So they make those 2 picks.
And they loaded up on their grit too with Boyle and McLeod.
Yeah, they
got Austin Watson back from
suspension
program.
Yeah. But with that floundering offense and the second most stingiest defensive team in the league behind these guys, the Islanders, it wouldn't surprise me if an upset was happening in this series.
I wouldn't be surprised either because I'm not a big Nashville guy this year.
The pressure's on Nashville. Dallas is they're hungry.
Yeah, Dallas is just happy to be in the playoffs.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, and like Nashville, like Subban, he's been pretty ordinary. He had a hip injury earlier in the year, and at 29, this might be the beginning of the decline for Subban, who's played a lot of hockey, and he plays a lot of hockey when he plays hockey. Like he plays close to 30 minutes most nights when the game gets tight.
Ryan Ellis has been pretty quiet.
He's been pretty bad too. In his new contract hasn't even kicked in yet.
Mm-hmm.
But this series is going to be. This one, I don't know. This one has a chance for an upset, but it's going to be tough because Dallas, they're big guns. They got to show up, and because they don't have a whole lot after them.
Well, let's not forget they had the whole scrutiny in the beginning of the year. From their
I know.
ownership was given Jamie Benn and
one guy who has to be better for Dallas is Nichushkin.
Yes,
he's got to be better. He's got to be better than no goals.
How about Radulov?
Radulov's always good. He always battles. He's he's probably better than Ben.
He's a grown up.
He shows up every night.
He's grown up and not getting too much trouble, except for he showed up late for practice that one time.
Yeah, and then he came back with a hat trick the following game. Yeah, obviously we talked about how season series don't really mean anything, but fun fact, Dallas picked up points in all 4 season games this regular season.
And also they picked up Zuccarello, who is back, and they have Cogliano, and like they're trying to fill out their forward group, but they got to have more production from Nichushkin for 57 games, no goals, 10 assists. He's got to be better. All right, that's it for all I got to say about Dallas. Oh, and Miro Heiskanen, he's a great player. Him and Klingberg, they'll be able to maybe give Nashville a run for their money. They can move the puck like nobody else.
Well, it's funny we talk about upsets. Like, if you really look up and down this board, it's very hard to really find the upset.
There's always one.
There's one, but
it's always one.
like upset's a very pejorative term here because all these series, with the exception of maybe Columbus, Tampa Bay, are very close in the standings.
Points-wise.
Yeah, points-wise, they all finish so tight to each other. Like, Nashville won the division, and Dallas is not an easy. Not at all.
Well, it doesn't seem like a prize, does it?
No, so it's going to be tough. Like, for anybody to get through to the next round is, I'm probably a little bit better than beaten. When it comes down to it, so it should be an interesting series between Nashville and Dallas. It should be
whoever Nashville and Dallas, whoever comes out, they're gonna be so happy because whoever comes out of Winnipeg, St. Louis, we'll talk about next, they're gonna be beating up each other for 7 games probably.
Yeah.
So they're gonna come out pretty worn down.
If that's the case,
jump on them early.
Yeah.
So we gonna talk about them now?
It's gonna be some buzzsaw hockey, defensive hockey from Nashville, Dallas. Anyway, moving on to St. Louis and Winnipeg.
Moving on to the last Western Conference first round matchup here.
So we got Winnipeg and St. Louis. We had the St. Louis Blues, who at one point were in last place in the West, and then next thing you know, things came to life. They had Jordan Binnington in net. He came along. And at the same time, apparently the team decided to gel with all the new acquisitions that they picked up in the offseason. I mean, there was a lot of hype about who they grabbed. Obviously, Ryan O'Reilly being one of the biggest ones. Patrick Maroon came home to his home city. That's just a name. Tyler Bozak. There was a lot of hype behind it, and eventually they did figure out their game, and they came back stomping in the standings. Eventually, they came third. They may have came third in the Central, but they could have easily taken first if things had gone their way. Then you got Winnipeg Jets, who've been a little bit iffy and shaky on the boat. They lost 5 of 7 in the end of the tail end of that season. They're still a good team, very strong team overall, but this should really prove to be an interesting matchup between the two.
Laine sucks. That's all that matters.
Laine sucks. Yes, Laine sucks. I'm sure
he's practicing on the third line right now.
Wow.
And everybody guessed that at the beginning of the year. It's been in the playoffs. He's on the third line.
Yeah.
Was he ever healthy scratch?
No.
I don't think they've ever held him.
No.
I wish they would have.
Like that would
maybe that would wake him up, but
he probably would have gone to the press box and played Fortnite. But well, for this series, I'm really looking forward to this series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quietly I do like St. Louis. I'm a huge Tarasenko fan. He's just so strong. He has such a heady shot.
He's like watching a pickpocket too. How he takes a puck from off, he skips puck off people.
He's so strong.
Yeah.
Winnipeg, they've been blocked like almost at least the last half of the season for sure. And St. Louis is the hottest team in the league. So, who would you rather be going to the playoffs? A team that's blah, and you're retired in points, the team that's gone the hottest team. Like, it's a tough call. It really is a tough call. On this one. Because St. Louis is obviously on paper isn't as good, and they might not be as skilled, but
they're gelling well, and they're coming together. They just signed Jay Bouwmeester to another 1-year contract.
I thought that was weird timing.
It was a little weird, wasn't it?
Like right before the playoffs, I'm like, why would you do it now? Why would you wait 2 weeks?
If we don't make the playoffs, you're not coming back.
Must
have been an awkward meeting. But yeah, the match, I am looking forward to this one as well. Like it's going to be physical. There's going to be some good goaltending, some high scoring. It's going to be
probably more in this series. It's going to be so tight. I think it's the health of some of Winnipeg's top players. Like, I don't think Morrissey's 100%. I don't think Bufflin's 100%. I don't know what's going on the St. Louis side injuries wise, but that's 2 of your top 4 defensemen in Winnipeg. They're coming in probably not 100%.
Yeah,
and already a thin blue line.
It's gonna be very physical, that's for sure.
So like I'm saying, like
a lot of big boys.
St. Louis can get in. If Maroon can wreak havoc on Morrissey, and somehow get to Bufflin, because Maroon's probably the only guy who can size match
against
Bufflin.
Yeah. That's not a big cast of people that can do that.
No, it's not a whole lot, and like they got to get to them early, wear them down. That's the only chance St. Louis has in the series to be like a legitimate chance of winning it is to wear Winnipeg down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the most intriguing series. Like a month ago, Winnipeg was running away with the division lead, and they just went on the coldest streak they've been on the last 2 years. St. Louis came into the season as one of the Cup favorites before the puck dropped, and then obviously the first 20 games, it was pretty apparent that the team wasn't gelling with all their off-season pickups. And
people are fighting at practice.
Yeah, they were definitely not looking like Cup champions.
And they lost Mike Eo. It cost Mike Eo his job.
Mm-hmm. They didn't even have the honeymoon phase. When they hired up Rube, they were still bad for a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like it took a while for them to get going.
For them. It was literally when Binnington showed up. It was literally when he showed up. All of a sudden, they turned around.
They had a goalie they trusted. Obviously, Jake Allen seems like a nice guy.
Nice guy.
Team doesn't.
Great guy.
Great guy. Not a great goalie. Obviously, he's having some confidence issues, so they brought in the young guy Binnington. He's gonna tear.
No Toronto tactics of sending him off for 10 days.
No,
that's
because
Nope.
That's only a story because it's in Toronto.
So yeah. Again, regular season matchup. It's hard to really shed any light on what the series is gonna turn out like, because Winnipeg went 3-1, but all those games were played before San Jose went on their hot streak.
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Binnington.
For January 1st.
Binnington hadn't has not played a game against Winnipeg this year. So who knows what that's going to turn out like.
And also, Bennington, he's played 25 games in the show
Yeah.
this year. So he's a raw rookie.
I think he was at 32.
And he's going into the
25
Hornets.
wins.
He's going into the Hornets nets for his first playoff game.
Yeah.
I kind of wavered.
So on Winnipeg side, you got to get in his kitchen. You got to rattle his cage. Like you got to get in. If you mess up Bennington, St. Louis doesn't have a shot in hell in the series.
If they can do it to goalies like Dubnyk and Rene and
yeah,
they might be able to get in his grill, and who knows how the series could go if that happens.
I've never really been a huge believer of the whole that guy has no exposure to the playoffs. Yeah, it's important, but I can think of names like Patrick Roy, youngest goalie to win the Stanley Cup at 20. Cam Ward. Did you know who Cam Ward was until that playoff series happened? Anthony Emmy.
Matt Murray.
Jeff Zatkoff.
Yeah, but for every goalie that does that, there's 10 others that falter.
That's true too.
That just crumble.
Like who?
He's on top of
Last
his game.
year, Grubauer.
Okay, here's something to think about.
Who's New Jersey? Blackwood or Kincaid, and they gave the ball to Schneider. Kincaid couldn't. First 2 games, he got lit up.
Yeah,
they put Schneider in net.
Here's something to think about. He hasn't really had
Luongo, for Christ's sakes.
He hasn't faltered in the NHL yet.
Bennington?
No. But he is a vet, though. He's not like a 20-year-old kid coming in. He's a little older.
He's like 24.
25.
But he's getting thrown. I'm saying like he's not like he's going to any playoffs, away stadium. He's going to Winnipeg.
If they go into Winnipeg and they go down 2-0,
one of the worst buildings to play in as a away
now
team.
the pressure's on. Like you were saying, injuries. Obviously, the back end is a little banged up for Winnipeg.
I think Parayko, he was hurt last week. I'm not sure how he's now.
I'm just reading here.
I think he's good to go.
Parayko's questionable for game 1. So
if he does play in the series, he's not going to be 100%.
Yeah, same issue.
And if he's not playing game 1, he's probably pretty hurt. Like he's not just like I have a sore back. He's probably there's something actually wrong.
Like Morrissey's probably got something going on with the rotator cuff or something.
It's his shoulder, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's not.
That's not a good one.
So if he's a shoulder injury, if I'm telling my Blues forwards, you chip it to his corner and you bang him hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like you get it on him and you rock him against the end boards because shoulder is the easy one to re-aggravate.
Yeah.
Well, especially you got Patrick Maroon chasing you down.
Yeah. Like Maroon, if you so like keep an eye on those games. See how often St. Louis dumps the puck to his corner.
Yeah, they're looking to hurt.
Yeah.
Tyler Myers still any good?
It's pretty good still.
He's in a sheltered role.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have to be, pick up to some slack because to offset some of these injuries from or these possibly injuries for Winnipeg. Yes, be better.
I'm excited to see Ryan O'Reilly in action.
In a playoff series for first time in a while.
Long time, but it should be fun to watch him play. Just
him against Shifley 1-on-1. That'll be a good fun matchup. Because it'll be them, Tarasenko against Wheeler, probably.
O'Reilly with the
matchup line ones.
Well, he lead league and face-off wins.
Well, he always says he's one of the best.
Yeah, one of the best.
Torback took the most. And
Shifley's up there too. They're both really good face-off guys.
So that's gonna be fun to see Imano.
Yeah, it's I really want to watch this one big time. Winnipeg, St. Louis.
Okay, let's go.
All right,
heading over to the east,
going down to the Atlantic Division.
This one's gonna be quick.
This is gonna be quick and painful.
Painful for BJ fans,
and also for their GM,
who's put all his eggs in this basket.
Well, I mean, at least it's not him. At least he got the okay from ownership.
When they ship out 6 draft picks or 7 draft picks this trade deadline.
Yeah, God, who knows, man.
They put all their eggs in this playoff basket. Didn't really gel again. Like it's another situation like St. Louis. Took them a while to get it going. They finally started turning it on right near the end of the season, and they get the best record team in the last 20 years.
Which was a very likely possibility at the trade deadline that they would fall into their TB or Washington in the first round.
I think I probably would have wanted Washington personally, but
of course,
I think anyone would take it. I think Columbus was really hoping that they could jump Carolina in that race, but it didn't happen.
Yeah.
No.
This one, CBJ on paper they're a good team, and they finally figured it out in the last 6 or 7 games in the season.
Well, definitely when it mattered.
But Bobrovsky is his Achilles heel of playoffs, and if there's one team that can light up any goalie, it's Tampa Bay.
This is true.
Yeah. Season series was a 3-0 sweep for Tampa Bay. Obviously.
A 3-0 sweep.
All right, let's have a crack to that, boys.
Toast to Tampa.
Toast to Tampa.
Yeah, this series I'm just gonna have fun watching because it is good to see some Tampa Bay hockey.
I kind of want to, though, still, even though Columbus is going to get rolled in the death roll,
They should.
I still want to see them in action. It's like you did it, you made it. Okay,
good for you.
Good for you. Let's see what you got.
Win a game.
Personally, I think this might have been one of the worst matchups Tampa Bay could have asked for in the first round.
What is that?
By comparison?
Not because of skill level. I think on the scoreboard they'll sweep them. But I think Columbus is going to beat the shit out of them physically.
Like, they're going to go hard.
They've got a lot of big guys. They've got Boone
Josh
Jenner,
Anderson.
Their whole team.
Davinsky.
Their whole team. The reason why Tortorella works so well in Columbus is because the whole team is built like a fourth-line grinder.
Banging, crashing.
Davinsky, the captain Nick Foligno.
Dave Savard's a big boy.
Jeff Jones.
On the back
Seth
end.
Jones.
Seth Jones.
Adam McQuaid.
Adam McQuaid, yeah.
Big pickup.
Yeah.
They got some skill guys, some smaller skill guys, but they got
and
lines 2 through 4.
Yeah,
a lot of big boys that can throw the body.
I agree because I'm sure Columbus isn't happy that they can't be that thrilled, and Tampa can't be that happy because they would much rather play Carolina.
Yeah. Besides Ferland, who does Carolina have that's going to throw a body check?
It'd be very if that was Carolina Tampa Bay, it would have been very high fast speedy hockey.
It would have been skill.
Yeah, skill. But that's
CBJ, they can maybe rough them up a little bit.
Yeah. And that's probably Tampa's biggest fear right now is that they're going to win the series, but they're going to come out and like everybody's going to be banged up.
Yeah.
Not good for the second round.
Everyone's going to be having ice packs.
Yeah.
If you're CBJ, that's probably almost best case scenario.
Yeah. If you're going to go down,
take a chunk out of them.
Take a bite out of them.
But yeah, okay. Next,
okay, going down the trough here, everyone's favorite top series.
Yeah.
And as far as I've done, every survey I've done at my store, everyone is looking forward to, and I'm sure you fellas are too, because there's so much hype and so much media.
It's going to be a lot of media surrounding this one.
Yeah,
there's
a lot of
so
media.
Much sarcasm in your voice, I can hear it.
Yeah, we just love this series. It's Boston versus, you guessed it, the Buds and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, on paper, Toronto, you would think, is the superior team. We've said that a lot tonight, but this is definitely one of the cases. They got John Tavares now, who is their their big savior.
Who scored 46, 47 goals, whatever he ended up with.
Oh my gosh, he's so good.
But Toronto, they like we talked about last week, I believe, they didn't fill any needs.
They grabbed Jake Muzzin. That was the big solution.
They didn't fill any needs. They just added on to a surplus. And when you give up an asset like a first round pick and 2 okay prospects, you don't fill a need, then what's the point of doing anything?
We needed a right-handed shot defenseman, and we went out and got a left-handed defenseman from the fledgling Kings. And
which Babcock was pretty obviously like what the hell disgruntled about it. And then Toronto, like they can't figure out Nylander and Kadri have been blah all year round. Like Kadri's on his game. He's always in the news. Like I haven't heard a bleep about Kadri all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kadri is not in the news.
He's kind of buried down there. He's third line center now.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. Forward group, there's just not enough ice time to go around.
They just can't. He's too good to be a third line center, and I think it's hurting his effectiveness playing 14, 15, 16 minutes a night.
My problem with my question is for you fellas: do you think a guy like him is effective against a team like Boston?
Well, that's what we're saying. Like, he has to wake the fuck up in the sense that, like, remember years past, like when he was Marchand-esque.
He really was.
Getting under the skin, diving, cheap shots, like getting really in there. And Toronto doesn't have a whole lot of that. And they need him to bring it. But
does it really work against a team like Boston who's just...
They have to do something. Like, that's the whole reason why I think Boston over Toronto, because Boston can play playoff-style hockey.
They're going to play dirty.
Toronto's fun to watch on a Saturday night. Like, their games are 6-5.
Yeah, high scoring.
Down the middle, Toronto's got them beat.
Of course.
On paper.
Yeah.
It's going to be Bergeron.
You put Bergeron, Tavares together. That cancels out.
You hope that Matthews or Kadri can
pick it up.
Who
does he go against?
Matthews outmatches.
But then Matthews plays Krejci
and
Uncle Dave.
And then I think they got Charlie Coyle playing line 3 center.
Yeah, he was actually a big pickup for them.
It's Coyle. Who's it? So it's Krejci and Johansson, I think. I don't know who's on that.
Fourth line?
And Danton Heinen or DeBrusque.
Gauthier and
Backus ?
No, Backus is he's their version of Lucic. He's blah.
Fourth
but
line.
Also Boston has Chara, and it'll be fun to see Chara up against Marner if he can control his speed. He's playing right wing against the left side defense.
That's a lot of reach to get around.
That's what I'm saying. Let's see how he does.
That's a lot of body to get around.
It was funny to see the Maple Leafs go and pick up Muzzin, and then at the deadline, another California team moves out a smaller, good skating, puck moving right-handed defenseman for much cheaper than Muzzin went, and Buffalo picked up Montour at Anaheim.
Yeah,
and I'm sure if that was if you're in the room when Babcock found out,
he probably kicked over a few chairs.
We could have got Montour for a second, and we paid a first and whatever else.
It was a first.
Ooh.
It was
Was it a first?
It was a first in Brendan Gould. So the equivalent probably would have been like Dermott. And a first.
Would have been that high?
Yeah. But Gould was playing NHL hockey at the time.
On
Buffalo. So I don't know, but Dermott, I think Dermott would have been maybe Cali Rosen. I don't know.
They probably could have thrown in a prospect.
But again, I also got to remember that maybe Anaheim just liked Gould. They liked them. And that's all what it came down to. Anywho's, this series, Marchand's gonna be in the limelight. He loves it. I hate Boston. I hate Toronto. I don't care who wins the series.
He's gonna be licking people.
He's gonna be licking people.
Yeah.
But I give it to Boston.
That first.
You're not supposed to.
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying win though. But I just can't see Toronto having any shot unless Boston's top line doesn't show up at all.
Falters, because you don't know what kind of goaltending you're going to get. Actually, really, from both teams, you don't know who's really going to pick up the slack. Because Freddie's
been meh.
Bleh. Tuukka's been bleh. Halaka's had a career rejuvenation, but then some nights it's been bleh.
Yeah.
And then Garrett Sparks has been shipped off to exile. And then they've got Michael Hutchinson.
The key to the series for Boston is you got to exploit Toronto's D.
Yeah.
That's if that's their Achilles heel, you go straight to that.
So I'm just comparing their team stats here. Toronto finished the season with a 21.8% power play, which was 8th in the league. Boston had a 26, which was 3rd. So Boston actually had a better power play, which is funny.
So Toronto has no advantage in the power play, which you might think they would.
Yeah, because if you watch the first 2 weeks of the regular season, Toronto was power play was I think 200%.
I don't know, but that's what it sounded like.
But that also is a beginning of the season where you can kind of have. I don't know what you felt.
Goals were way up at the start.
I kind of dismiss that because it's just like people haven't gelled yet. Teams are still sorting out who goes where. So
penalty kills were identical. Both finished at 79.9%, which is middle of the league, 16th and 17th. Toronto finished top 4 in goals, but they finished 20th in goals against. And Boston was 3rd in goals against. And they had they were middle of the pack goals.
How was Toronto in goals against?
They were 20th.
So 20th and 3rd. It's a big gap.
Toronto scored 29 more goals this year. That's quick math. And they gave up like 40, almost 40 more goals, 45 more goals.
And Gardner, who is they're one of their top 4 defensemen, has a sore back. And who else was hurt? Dermott was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So they're. Hello.
All right, anyway, we're back. So as we're saying, the Boston series, we had to grab a couple of beers, and we're actually having a guest.
Yeah. Guest speaker.
Any rate.
Next.
So we're going down to the Metropolitan Division. So we've got the exciting matchup. of Carolina and the current Stanley Cup champions in the Washington Capitals.
Carolina's fun. They're the highest scoring defense in the East playoffs with like 45, 46, 47, somewhere around there. The highest scoring defense. Their offense comes from the defense and Aho. And that's about it. They are kind of a soft team up front. They're
kind of a soft team in general.
They're a soft team in general. They don't really have any sexy forwards. Sexy goalie. Like they have guys who got him in there, but they can't get him over the hump. Washington, they're a powerhouse. They have a big boy power play. Yeah, Ovechkin, Kuznetsov, Backstrom, Carlson, Oshie, Tom Wilson, whoever the hell they want to throw out there.
They're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
They have, first time in my lifetime, Washington has some pedigree.
Some hard pedigree.
They're not, like, if it was 2 years ago, you'd be like, Carolina might have a shot at this, you know?
But Carolina's
not anymore.
Carolina's a high-flying team. Actually, a lot of people kind of just... I'd said at the beginning of the season I thought they were going to make the playoffs, especially with Rod LeBot as their coach.
Yeah.
But a lot of people kind of dismissed that as a not-possibility, but they did it. They did it with McElhinney and Mrazek, McElhinney was a pickup from Toronto, Mrazek was signed from Philly. And they displayed that they could definitely bring it. They were both kind of fringe starting, it seemed like. So Mrazek kind of got the nod a little bit more than McElhinney, but McElhinney held his own. Teuvo Teravainen ripped it up this year. Sebastian Aho really showcased that he was an elite level centerman in the league. He came out of nowhere. When it comes to that, TVR was all right. They had a couple of young bloods. Fogle actually turned out to be an okay player.
Yeah, there's some skill in Carolina on their bottom six.
Yeah, they're a fast team. They got Hayden Fleury, who's an all right defenseman. Justin Falk has been a good, strong leader on the blue line. Dougie Hamilton,
10 plus goals. 18 goals. 18 goals, and he's a trade target every single. I don't know.
They got rid of Skinner and
Lindholm. That deal is not looking worse and worse with age.
Yeah.
They're probably going to lose Ferland for nothing, and Hamilton, who knows? And Adam Fox is going to get traded too.
But they both made the playoffs, so I guess they got what they wanted out of all this.
It worked out this year.
It worked out this year for sure. Carolina was overdue for some playoff hockey.
Yeah, they have the longest drought. It's Carolina. Now it's somebody else. I'm not sure who. Buffalo, maybe.
It's got to be Buffalo. They're like 8 years now or something like that.
And no, it's gonna be kind of a fun series for Carolina, but Washington's they're a pretty stacked team.
They're very, very, very dangerous. And dangerous is actually not even probably the appropriate terminology.
Yeah.
Up and down their lineup, they got the playoff experience.
They also, but in Carolina's favor, Washington they played a lot of hockey in the last year. So but no cup hangover. And they partied hard, and
they did party hard. But Washington did something that was very special though, was that they narrowly edged out the Islanders for that first Metropolitan spot. So it was very, very, very close.
And Pittsburgh and Columbus. What?
You put the numbers wrong, you idiot.
I put the better team up.
No, you didn't do nothing. You did it wrong. Anyway, but regardless, so Washington in comparison to Carolina, they're definitely going to hand down a beating to the Canes in terms of the physicality department.
Washington's they also lost Kempney for the year.
Yeah.
So they could blow out of their left side defense.
Yeah. Dmitry Orlov is still going to be dangerous though.
But I'm saying for Washington, when you're climbing Mount Everest into a playoff series and win the cup, it takes a lot out of you. It's really hard to do the climb once again in back-to-back years. This way it almost never happens. It's tough. Really rare.
Well, it's only happened recently with only Detroit in 97, 98, and then just recently with Pittsburgh.
Well, just going to the cup final.
And Detroit.
I said Detroit.
And
in
Pittsburgh.
97, 98, and Detroit in 08, 07, 08. Or 08
that's right. They didn't win though.
Yeah.
But taking the climb is really hard.
Pittsburgh actually did twice technically.
Shit.
Anyway, we're not gonna worry about that.
Pittsburgh's been back-to-back finals 2 times now.
And that's 10
Crosby era.
11, 12 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think.
What's the head-to-head look like with these two?
Key injuries. Obviously, you mentioned Kempney for Washington. He's going to be out through the summer, so his season's over. He's no chance of him coming back. Carolina's missing somebody you'll be familiar with, Calvin DeHaan. He's out indefinitely as well, so there's no timetable for his return.
No. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's missed greatly.
If Don Cherry was summing up this series, this Carolina team, you'd say, best goalie in the world, and Curtis McElhinney, but he'd probably call him like
McElhinney.
He'd probably
McDonald's.
call him Christopher McElhinney or something like that.
Yeah.
And also, Carolina's full of soft Euros, and they're not going to win this series.
Whoa.
I said
Soft
Don
Euros.
Cherry.
Oh, soft Euro. Okay, sorry.
Okay, next series.
Last one here.
My favorite.
The 2v3 matchup.
The 3 versus 2.
So, unfortunately, folks, Tyler put the numbers wrong. I don't know if he did it to spite me or if he's just silly because he just assumed that the Islanders actually finished ahead of Pittsburgh, not the other way around.
God forbid.
God forbid. Well, I was very proud. Okay, you know what? The Islanders were not expected to do anything. Everyone just danced on the fact that Tavares left. We don't need him. And times are good. We actually finished ahead of Toronto in the points department in terms of overall standings.
Yourself to Toronto.
Well, it's going to happen. You know, when you have until this year's snuffed out and then the dust settles, you're going to keep doing that. But regardless, so the Islanders managed to sell themselves out a really solid season under the leadership of Barry Trotz and under Lou Lamorielle's signings of terms of creating more depth. He took a low risk gamble with Leonard, who was fresh out of rehab, and able to get his life kind of back together. You had Leo Comrade come to lineup, who's the physical, third line forward in terms of he brings the physicality and grit to the lineup. You have Valtteri Filppula, who's just a veteran in general, and he's able to put the puck in the net. Casey Zikas put up 20 goals, which is a little unusual for a fourth-line player, but that fourth line is kind of its own breed, in my opinion. Just the fact that they can get the start in the lineup and be effective, and Matt Martin and Clutterbuck, where they can throw the bod. But then you got Pittsburgh, who is just good with Malkin and Crosby. They make their team...
This will be the quote. You got Pittsburgh, who's just good.
It's just good. They're just good. They've got, like I said, they got Malcolm Crosby. They got Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin.
And that's all you really need there, folks. So
they got Phil Kessel, who I don't really mind. I thought when he got traded, when he went over to Pittsburgh and won the Cup that first year, I kind of laughed my ass off because Toronto gave him so much heat.
Yeah, I was happy to see that.
I think everyone was happy to see that.
You always love to spite Toronto.
I hate Pittsburgh, but you know what?
I hate Pittsburgh too. Don't get me wrong. I don't like Pittsburgh.
But you gotta respect. Be fools not to respect their skill.
Well,
you
of course
can't.
not. Only like we're saying with Pittsburgh with 1-2 punch. Let's say Crosby's going up against Boychuk and Leddy. Malkin's playing against Thomas Hickey and Brian Pollock.
Yeah.
Like that is a pairing that he is salivating over. That he is gonna rip them to shreds.
It's true. I could agree with that.
Like that's where the series could be decided. Like Crosby could get shut down and have 3 assists in the entire series, and Malkin would have 10 points, and Pittsburgh would have enough to win.
What this really calls upon for at least going down the pipe, at least like when it comes to Barzal, Barzal's gonna have to go against Crosby, which is not an easy task, especially for.
He's gotta get the puck from Crosby.
It's not many people can do that. I've seen the footage of him practicing with Marchand and the boys, and him just absolutely.
He makes Marchand look like a beer league player.
He absolutely overpowers everybody with that leg strength of his, and that just how he controls the puck is ridiculous. But Barzal's pretty good for dancing around players. He's got that quick speed and agility. He's kind of like, as we talked about, kind of described McKinnon in a way that he's kind of fast forward.
Who, Crosby? Barzal. Is he a little water bug out there?
He's a little water bug. That's a good way to put it. He is shifting.
He's now front of the line though, and this is his first
NHL
playoff.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how he kind of pans out in that. I do kind of like though that, but I do feel like once you do get past the top two, once you get past Crosby and Malkin, I do feel the Islanders actually do have an edge though. When you go down to the bottom 6 lineup,
I think in size, but I wouldn't
fourth
say
line, the Zizekas,
Martin, and Clutterbuck.
That will probably be going up against Malkin.
You think so? They'll be banging.
Because Crosby will be picking Barzal.
Do you think they're going to stick the crash line up on Malkin and just try to hammer him down?
Yeah.
He's a strong dude.
You're paying that line through $10 million. They better be doing better than just playing 4th line minutes.
That's true. Well, they get a lot of minutes, and they said they throw the ball and they throw it well.
And then that would free up Josh Bailey and Nelson on their second line or whoever it is to score against Pittsburgh's third line or whatever.
My thinking is, even though like you could say, like, I mean, Trotz has played against the Berg a lot. Like, you can say he lost, but then again, historical fact,
He knows them.
He knows them well.
Everybody.
Lord Wellington lost many battles to Napoleon, but eventually figured out how to beat him when it counted. So,
But then what happened the next time they battled after that?
Lord Wellington became prime minister, and it was a shitty one at that.
Okay.
But also Matt Murray, a .930 save percentage.
I was just going to say, I'm going to look at the statistical output here.
Leonard Grace did well.
This could very well be settled. Obviously, playoffs is a different animal. Refs let a lot more go.
Yeah.
Special teams could be where this series is settled. Pittsburgh had the 5th ranked power play in the league. Islanders had the 29th. So the only team below them was Nashville.
You got to be the Islanders got to be really careful going to the penalty kill there. I don't think they can afford
They wrap us up.
to take any pims.
Their penalty kills were identical. And then save percentage was Islanders were first with 936 and Pittsburgh was 4th with 931.
Oh, our guest speaker's here.
Guest speakers here.
But anyway.
Go.
So
get the guest speaker in here.
Get the guest speaker in here.
How's open the garage though?
Yeah, so anyway, look who just showed up.
Yeah.
It's Dukes.
So we got our new guest speaker today. We got Ryan McDonald present.
A.K.A. Roldo McNeil.
Going to the Lower Mainland area,
Yeah.
Roldo McNeil.
Couple of funny stories as to how that came about. But no, I've been caught up. You guys are talking about the playoffs, the matchups. I would like to say that I am coming into this as the layman's man, doesn't know shit. He's only watched hockey maybe 2 or 3 times this season. So if you're asking my opinion, I am the Joe that doesn't know jack.
We are asking your opinion. That's why you're here.
Okay, well if you want my honest opinion, okay, Calgary, Colorado, Calgary. Okay, they had a lot of easy matchups this year. Their schedule was pretty weak considering the rest of the teams in the East had a pretty tough go of it. So I'll still take Calgary, but down the stretch, tough to say. San Jose, Vegas, that's probably going to be 6 or 7 games. I take San Jose. Yeah, you're shaking your head, but don't. Okay, I'll keep going. Nashville, Dallas. I'll take Nashville. They've shown in the past that they can make a cup run, and I still think they have a good core of players that can do it. Winnipeg, St. Louis. Gotta take Winnipeg. Patrick Laine. They look like a good young team.
Oh my God.
I think they're going the distance. What, did I say something wrong?
Dukes is comedy corner over here.
Is he injured or something?
No, he's just garbage. No, it's all good.
Laine's not garbage. Playoff time steps up. He's got to stop playing Fortnite. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree.
All this shit in the media and the news about the guys playing Fortnite, it's actually like the new addiction. I'd rather if my players were doing coke and staying up till 4 a.m. They might still win a hockey game, but that shit's addicting.
That is true. Actually, it's a good point.
Tampa Bay, Columbus. Okay, well, I don't even answer that one, but I will anyways. Tampa Bay, if they're going to slaughter them in 4 games. Boston and Toronto, that's going to be a good series. Kind of a rematch, I think, of I don't know how many years ago.
3 years now?
No, it was more.
Well,
It's been 2 series since.
2, 3,
back to back.
3 in the last
Toronto
5.
Yeah.
Toronto blew a what? Game 5, Game 6, Game 7 was it?
Game 7 lead.
Yeah. Okay, so you know what? That's going to be a good rematch. Toronto looks like a good team. John Tavares, he's got a new squad behind them to make an attempt at it. Whatever, you can say whatever the fuck you want. I take Toronto. You know what? I'm going to take Toronto in 7 games.
Wow, the first one.
Actually, that's a first.
I like it though.
My other half said that too, but whatever.
How is that a first? None of us have said anything yet.
And in the Metro, Washington, Carolina, Washington. Carolina, though, I like. There's something about them. I think they're going to make it interesting in most games that they're going to play.
Swagger.
Those celebrations were.
Yeah, they're not doing them anymore though.
No, I know they're controversial, but then people like them though too. So.
Yeah.
Well, I think Washington is the better team, but Carolina has some spunk to them, and I can see them making it interesting in almost every game. But I'd give it to Washington in 5. Pittsburgh and New York Islanders. Geez, you know what? The Islanders, they've got some strength in their roster, but I don't know if they have enough standouts to really make the push. Even though Pittsburgh, they're not the same team they were a few years ago when they made some cup runs and won it. But I'd still take Pittsburgh. So there's my picks.
There you go. There's the official Underdog Hockey Pod picks for the 2019 playoffs.
From Roldo McNeil.
From Roldo, yeah.
From Roldo McNeil himself.
Would you like to counter any of my arguments?
Well, we're gonna save that for
You're
next
entitled
time.
to your opinion. I mostly agree with most of them.
But I gotta do.
Well, why did you guys say Winnipeg?
I didn't say
it's
Winnipeg.
just funny.
No, I didn't say Winnipeg. It said you were talking about how good Laine was, and
Did you even say these ones?
he's had a pretty rough year.
He scored like 4 goals in
He went through all of
2019, since January. He's been like that bad.
So,
Well, the
tell us
playoffs
about
are
your
different.
I know, but
sexual
it's just funny.
exploits.
All right, we gotta hear a funny story.
Sexual exploits? Okay, well, you wanted to know about when I went to Victoria, but basically a friend of mine and I, we went over on my boat and we met some girls at the bar. And we were getting shit-faced, and I almost lost it, like, at one point in the night. Like, I was just falling over. But I regained my composure, and we carried it to the win. But anyways, we told them how we got there, and they said, well, why are we not sitting on the boat? So we went to the boat, we took them there, having a couple of drinks, sitting outside, and they said, this is great and all, but it's kind of cold and kind of small. Let's go back to our hotel room. So we went back to the hotel room. They were 2 girls from California, and we were 2 guys from BC. And next thing you know, like Family Guy's on the TV. We turned off the lights. We put it on to some easy listening alternative on the old Stingray television. I would like to say that I made the first move. I started making out with my girl, and then they followed suit pretty quick. Before you know it just escalated quickly. And I'm like, hearing moans from the other bed, and I'm fucking her, and she's getting sucked off. Next thing you know, they're going to the bathroom, and he just takes all he's like, And she's like, my makeup! She just did the old comedy, clear the desk, we're making love sort of deal. It was crazy. And then I'm not proud to say, but I made a bit of a mess of the sheets, and I got some of it on her. And she said, I'm going to take a shower. And then, went outside at 5 in the morning and shared a cigarette. Just all of us were just standing there so awkwardly after we just had sex into.
Naked? No, we're just down on the street.
That is by far the greasiest story I have, though. By the way, it was close to an orgy, but not quite.
Wasn't it pretty much an orgy the next night, though? I thought I remember.
Yeah, I heard rumors.
Well, we were good. Yeah,
that was the end of it, wasn't it?
That is the end of it. They wanted us to come back over the second night, and I was
they wanted to ride to the mainland.
They also wanted that. No. Listen, that's not going to happen. Nice girls and all, but no.
What was it you were telling me about switching girls, though?
Yeah,
well, it was back the second night we were going to go switch girls, but I said, dude,
not during process.
I just don't know if we can do it. That is just too greasy.
That is pretty gnarly.
All right, so that's grease for the podcast.
That's our grease.
That's our grease. Tales from Roldo McNeil's crypt.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you know what the best part about this is? One day these chicks from California are going to be listening to Underdog Hockey Pod,
and they're going to know.
Yeah. Okay, anyways.
Wait, did you actually call yourself Ryan, or did you go by Roldo McNeil?
No, my name's Roldo McNeil.
Okay, yeah. I had some exploits recently, and I had to use my name Leroy, but anyway.
Yeah. Leroy.
You had some exploits. Let's hear about yours.
No, what happened to me was I was at the establishment in Langley briefly for a 19-year-old friend's birthday. Didn't want to go, but then I drove there and I'm like, whatever. Looked in the parking lot. I'm like, oh, no one's there. Okay, very good.
Why is that very good that no one's there?
Because I don't
it's an empty bar.
Because the establishment I went to was on a Wednesday night and karaoke night. And I didn't want to go because I don't like the establishment. I've said this multiple times.
Is this the same place that you said, hey, you're going to meet a lot of older women and it's karaoke? So
no, that's a different one. That was across the street from my old house.
Oh yeah, so this is not the same place.
This is not the same place.
This is another karaoke joint.
This is a karaoke place. Anyway, so I really don't like going there. But anyway, I promised. It was late. I'm like, oh, whatever. Went to his birthday, whatever. Anyway, went to his birthday party, and then anyway, I went to go get him a drink, and then these two 19-year-old blonde girls, they came up to me and they were like on the flirt scale of 10 out of 10. And I was like, I didn't even know what to fucking do because I was like, oh.
Were you single at the time?
No, I was not. Single girl.
So you're telling me a story about you either cheating or just having some girl hit on you?
Hard. No, hit on me hard.
That's
two.
It?
No, not one, but 2. And that was the thing.
They both wanted to have sex with you at the same time?
They're just at the time, I didn't know what the fuck they wanted. I was super confused what was going on at that sequence. And then so I'm like, they're like asking me all these they're like, oh my, like something sexy, blah blah blah. And like, how old are you? I'm like,
Kurt, you're telling a story about a Wednesday night at a karaoke bar where a girl hit on you.
Yes,
two girls,
two plural.
Wow.
And then they said to me, they're like, oh, what's your name? And I'm like, fuck, I want to deal with this. My name's Leroy.
Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn
The
town.
black guy name.
It's not a black guy name.
Well, hey,
You land on Leroy.
215's ancestry, he's got a big dick. That 215's covers 7 and a half
There you go.
inches.
So regardless, though, so I had to drop the Leroy, and that was my way of getting out of it. And then eventually, their sober friend was like, anyway.
Okay.
Long story short,
So you almost lived Lawrence's from Office Space's dream.
what's that?
2 chicks at the same time.
Two chicks.
You had $1 million. You didn't even have to have $1 million.
You had $1 million. What would you do?
Two chicks at the same time.
No, exactly.
I
So
always wanted to.
push comes to shove, I was like, no, I got a nice girl already, and it was kind of like, but I did not expect that in my night. That was like the least of things. I was expecting to go there, have a beer, and leave.
And you weren't going to sing a song?
No, I didn't get a chance to do that. No,
So you were going to go and sing
If
a
you
song?
were gonna sing a song, what song
That's
would
a
it
great
be?
question.
oh, that is a good question. It would have been looking up my back door by CCR.
Yeah. How about licking up my back door? Those 2 chicks backside of the bar, fucking licking up your back door.
Maybe I would have called my friend Roldo McNeil for that situation because
Yeah.
he's single, handsome, and lonely.
I eat that ass.
Toss a salad.
He's a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy. So
anyway,
anyway, enough about. Yeah, go ahead.
So you guys, did you agree with what I sort of said in general?
We haven't really discussed this
We
part
haven't
yet.
gotten to
Well,
predictions.
we're supposed to go to the filming soon.
We're,
You want to be on the film?
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I can sit off in the corner. Okay, so, anyways,
Can you hold the camera?
does the Central Division play the winner of the other?
Yeah.
These two play each other.
Yeah. Okay, well,
Who's do your cup bracket right now? Who you got winning the whole thing?
let's do the math. I got Calgary and San Jose. You know what? I could honestly see San Jose knocking off Calgary. Now they're the top spot in the West, but again, like I said, their schedule. San Jose, they've got guys. I don't know. I think they've struggled in the past to prove that they can win Game 7 of the Stanley Cup. Right? They've been there before. But a lot of times they've had a better team than the one where they actually made it, and they failed to reach, right?
Correct.
But I think they're going to knock off Calgary. So we got San Jose going out of the Pacific Central, Nashville, and Winnipeg. Nashville. Going Nashville. I'd say that's probably going to be a hyped series, but if you guys are telling me that Patrick Laine is not playing at his hottest, I still think they're a good-looking team, but it'll probably be a six game series, and now Nashville takes it. Tampa Bay. I'm just gonna go ahead and say Tampa Bay is gonna be in the Stanley Cup final. Okay, so they're gonna knock off Columbus. Obviously, they're gonna knock off
Toronto.
Toronto, yeah.
And we got Washington and Pittsburgh again.
Okay, so yeah. Washington, yeah.
So repeat, and then you have.
Well, last year was a tough one. It was the hardest one for Ovi because he had failed to beat Crosby in his history, and so to finally get the monkey off his back, I feel like this year he's done it. They won the cup last year. It's going to be something familiar, and he's going to be able to take Pittsburgh in. I want to say that it probably might even be 5 games if they're on. If the Washington plays their game every game, I feel like they could win. And Pittsburgh's going to put up a fight, but I'd say Washington could win it at 5. Who knows? Depends how the series turns out.
I agree. If they play their best hockey, they could.
Washington, Tampa Bay. I say Tampa Bay and.
You got TV and Stanley Cup final, and then who do you have between San Jose and Nashville?
That's a tough one. I guess if this is my opinion,
Probably Calgary.
yeah. I'll take Nashville.
You got Nashville and TV.
Now Nashville, they were in Stanley Cup 2 years ago. They lost in the West Final last year to Vegas.
No.
So they lost the second round of Winnipeg last year.
Okay, so redemption over Winnipeg this year, right? They get that shit monkey off their back. I think Nashville takes San Jose, and they make another cup appearance.
We were past that.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then Tampa Bay wins it. Six games.
6 Tampa Bay and 6 in the finals, eh?
Yeah.
And that was Jeff Goldblum's prediction for the Stanley Cup Finals.
Did he say that? Did Jeff Goldblum did that?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, you're Jeff Goldblum now?
Sometimes
He has many alter egos.
Roldo McNeil. That's why I always recognize you as.
Okay, I would honestly like you guys. I know for a fact y'all are my friends and you watch a decent amount of hockey and follow it. I want you to tell me why I'm right or why I'm wrong on some certain areas.
Well, I think we're going to film that part.
Well, I think you've got the consensus prediction for the Cup winner in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And the rest of it's unimportant.
I guess it really doesn't matter if your end game's the same, right?
Yeah, it is. Within the day, I think we all agree.
It's like when you do like long division, but you can just use a calculator and get the same answer. And
Yeah.
like, why the fuck do I do all this?
You know, I think I would change is Boston. I think Boston can beat up Toronto. I agree with the rest of your predictions of the first round.
I don't agree with you, Islanders, Pittsburgh, but whatever. I'm just biased.
He is biased. Yeah.
And I agree,
St. Louis, I think, can take out Winnipeg.
I think Vegas might beat them just because
The Sharks
of Fleury.
And the Sharks are just notorious for choking. Period.
But for the most part, yeah, I do agree with you.
There's a lot of good. You know what though, your insight was good. You gave a lot of good ideas, and you know what? For someone who hasn't watched that much, man, I'm impressed.
Well, I played hockey my entire life, and so I understand what's going on. I see it on SportsCenter, but in terms of watching the actual games, I couldn't tell you many players.
And you know, life gets in the way.
Yeah, well,
Life gets in the way.
okay. So now, if you're telling me Tampa Bay is the consensual winner, and you guys are, yeah, you want to have sex with me? Yeah, okay, let's do it. No, like.
She said yes, officer.
Yeah, she was intoxicated at the time, so it doesn't count.
She was loving
Why?
Who cares? We're doing an interview.
Why is Tampa
We're
Bay?
shooting from the waist right now.
Why is Tampa Bay the consensual winner? Okay, why don't you explain it to me?
All right.
Consensus.
I'll explain it to you.
Kucherov going.
Why do you gotta explain? I want to
I'll
explain
explain it. 128. I'll explain it to you. They asked for permission first, and that's why they're the consensual winner.
Oh my god. I need another beer. Well, to answer
another beer.
so Roldo, to answer your question,
How's the goaltending?
Good. Yeah.
Vezina Trophy level winning goaltending.
Yeah, really? Okay.
Who's
Who's the goalie?
Vasilevsky,
Who the fuck is that?
number 80.
I'm only going off headlines. I see Kucherov. I thought it was 120. It's 128 points. Or
That
something.
needs to be a snippet for.
You did read that.
No, our snippet is consensual.
Consensual. Anyway, I'm cracking the beer.
You sure you don't want one?
You sure you don't want one? We brought beer.
No, I got stuff to do. But I was stopping by to be a part of your podcast. I mean, this is good stuff.
This is good shit. But
You're gonna have to be a reoccurring guest.
yeah, I know we're liking this. We're liking the road. We get the story, the opinions.
Okay, where did Vasilevsky come from? Like, honestly,
Draft
was he-
pick.
Russian.
Russian.
From Mother Russia.
He was in the World Juniors at 16 years old, which is unusual,
Okay.
which is pretty impressive.
He's his second year as a full-time starter.
Yeah.
Where was Tampa Bay last year? I obviously
Conference
understand.
finals. They lost to. They lost to Washington.
Why didn't I hear about Tampa Bay last year?
No,
they were first place last
all
year.
year. I've heard Tampa Bay consensual winner.
Consensual women.
Yeah. People have equally agreed amongst each other. Kucherov's racking up the points. Stamkos is probably, I don't know. I mean, he's a few years younger than Ovechkin. Maybe the best goal scorer in the league.
Same age
right
as
now.
me.
Yeah.
Maybe, is he not the best goal scorer?
Definitely the most complete player, most dangerous.
Yeah. They got a Victor Hedman. I mean, I know you need to have more than one player on a 6-man D-man defense,
but their team just overall
Yeah,
is...
Ryan McDonough.
Yeah, that guy. He went to the
you're-
Stanley Cup with New York.
No,
He went to the Cup final.
He didn't win though.
I know.
Braden
I said
Point
he went, but yeah.
Braden Point's unreal. New blood.
Yeah. So Nashville, when they lost in the Cup, they lost to Pittsburgh.
Yes.
What's changed from Nashville?
They've gotten older.
They got older, and they upgraded their grit factor? And then they did, but then in terms of their forwards, they have Kyle Turris now.
Right.
Who's been a healthy scratch?
Oh, good.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah,
I actually didn't know
he
that.
has been a good fit.
Well, I mean, he's a playmaking, top two lines forward, and they've got.
He's got a lot. I think that might be the factors where if he's not there, they can throw some. As soon as he falters, they can throw a guy to replace him easily.
Yeah,
like in Ottawa or Arizona or wherever else, or mainly Ottawa, he would just get constantly thrown out there. Go figure it out.
So if he's in and out of the lineup, every team wants to win the Cup every year. Nashville's close.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with him next year? What's his contract
play? 6x6. This is his first year of his deal, right?
Really? Could they offload him potentially in the offseason? It all depends how
potentially,
well
but because he's a center, but they'd probably have to take some money back.
Is it at that point with them?
Yeah. Teams aren't lining up to take on a big contract like that.
No.
Huh.
But yeah. Anywho's.
All right. Well, then now we know.
Now you know.
Now you know. You're in the loop
that
now.
Knowledge is power.
That's right.
Okay, so the draft lottery was tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Do we know?
That was spanking?
Yeah.
Yeah, spanking. It was consensual. Do we not know who won the lottery pick?
Do you not know who won the lottery?
I have no idea. Do you guys know?
Well, I'll say to your fans, happy lottery draft day.
Yeah.
Jersey won.
I didn't know it was.
Jersey.
Jersey.
New Jersey, yeah.
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Now we're hometown guys for
I'm
the most
Tom
part.
Medina.
Where does Canucks draft? 9th overall or something?
They dropped to 10.
They're so bad.
Really?
They're so bad they can't even draft.
Yeah.
They can't even draft first round.
Chicago jumped up from 12 to 3, and Rangers jumped
3?
up. Yeah.
Wow.
And then the Rangers got number 2 from 6 or 7. They were at. I don't know.
Chicago's a good enough team though. Like they were looking pretty hot.
Kane had 100 points. DeBrincat had 40 goals, and they're going to get a top 3 pick. So
Cam Ward
sucks to be a Hawks fan.
To Cam Ward's expense, he said, "Oh, that was a pretty good hat trick, bud." And then Cat looks up and goes, "I've had like 4 or 5 career hat tricks." And then he goes, "Well, I'm sorry, I was on the team when that happened."
Okay, so who was the team that had the draft pick for Duchesne?
Oh, Colorado. They dropped to 4.
Really, that's too bad.
Well, it's still good for them to make one.
They're like finally we know it's not a top 3 pick. They can finally.
But still,
relax.
4's not that bad.
Four's not that bad.
When did they make that deal?
And you made the playoffs.
Because they've been shit for a while.
November?
Yeah.
Like 2017?
Okay, so
What was it?
When they made the Duchesne trade.
It's like a year and a half ago.
Yeah,
because if only they had some foresight that they were going to be fucking awful.
Well,
They gave away that it doesn't matter if you're first, second, or third pick or fourth like they are. I mean, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh, that's on the GM. That's
Yeah.
on Dorian to make a deal of that magnitude just to upgrade from Turris to Duchesne.
And how much of an influence is Eugene?
Oh, he's a huge meddler. He's in the office every fucking day, making calls, and he shouldn't be on the phone at all and not taking on media. How often do you see other owners this involved?
Well,
Charles Wang.
it's not quite as I would say I would make a comment.
Wrong, isn't it?
I'm going to make a claim that it's not as obnoxious as Eugene Melnick. Okay, but the Aquilinis have been known to put pressure on the Canucks to create a team that will at least bring in an attendance and create some kind of revenue via TV and whatever.
Canucks are great.
Well,
So that's a problem for the Canucks because when they should have been rebuilding over the last few years, they've been trying to do that, but only in a half-assed mentality, and they've been bringing in absolute no-name 35-year-old guys for 2 years or something like that. What are they doing? Yeah, and I think that comes down to the Aquilinis because that's why Trevor Linden left.
Well, that's what makes more sense. He was I think. Well, he also aged 10 years in 3 years. He got old really fast. I think it took a lot out of him.
You know a thing or two about getting old really fast?
What's that? Gray pubic hair or what?
Yeah.
I got 2
No, is that a no?
No, what's
gray hairs
fill
now.
me in?
I don't know. You get a couple.
Do I have gray hair?
Then you get more. I don't know. Do you?
No.
I do.
I don't know.
What are you guys talking about right now?
You're clean shaven, right?
What?
Oh,
No.
well, you're making a comment on the fact that I don't have facial hair, but I shaved, so fuck you.
Sure, yeah.
Would you have a comment about what I just said? I'm the guy that doesn't follow much hockey, but what about that?
I got no comment.
Just he's speechless.
Just I can't believe what we're listening to right now.
There's some interesting content.
23 minutes of nonsense.
It was nonsense.
It's good
talk
subject
radio.
matter.
It's talk radio, right?
It's talk radio. Good movie, by the way, if you ever watch it.
Talk radio?
Have you seen it?
That's not the Howard Stern one, is it?
No. Talk radio with it's 1988 old movie. Good movie though.
Yeah,
Watch
who's in
it. Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin?
He's not the lead star though. It's
He's got a nicer face than radio, I tell you.
man, what's that? No, now you got me wondering now again. Fuck. Talk radio.
Have you seen the documentary of Richard Pryor?
No.
It's on HBO.
Is it the I Am Richard Pryor?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, I have a problem with the I Am series because they just like make everything all sugar coated and happiness and like, oh, how great this guy was, but like, let's be honest, I don't know. I mean, there's probably more to Evil Knievel or Chris Farley.
I think I agree. I mean, I the one on Gary Shandling, I thought was very dark.
Yeah, but that wasn't I Am.
That wasn't I Am. I agree. I think Richard Pryor, based on what they were saying, he was a real volatile guy.
Yeah, he was
He
married
lived
8-9 times.
Like he lit himself on fire. He did mounds of cocaine. They talked about that for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, get into it. But but I'm like,
He wasn't married. Got married a bunch of times.
it was the 70s. Like he probably had sex with over 1,000 women.
But the answer to my question was for the talk radio was Eric Bogosian. His name is. It was directed by Oliver Stone.
That sounds like a hockey player. Eric Bogosian.
So you're saying Zach Bogosian?
Yeah, but good movie. Watch it regardless. Anyway, we're getting off completely. We're completely digressing.
I Am Chris Farley was okay. Wasn't that dark?
Yeah, but again, I mean, the guy died heroin overdose with doing 8 balls and stuff, and they never even mentioned it. They were just talking about how great of a guy he was.
Anyway.
Wait,
So it was just what's that?
Maybe it was a good guy.
No, I agree 100%. But if you're gonna do a documentary, I mean,
Is
do
I
it
Am
right.
Legend part of that series?
No,
I Am Robot.
that's a great movie though.
I Am Robot.
Have you ever had a dream where you're like living in the I Am Legend type like
I think-
universe?
No.
More or less, and they ever had a zombie dream of some kind.
Those are fucking awesome. Like, it's not quite
They're
scary,
intense.
but they're intense. You just wake up in a cold sweat. Like, that's better than paying a movie ticket to
Yeah.
go see some fucking Adam Sandler thing.
You wake up and like, fuck, that was far too real.
Okay. What if we got into a point in the future where you could actually like inject or take a pill and it would influence how your brain chemistry was working, so that you could actually like dream certain things that you wanted? Like, you could take a pill and have a comedy dream.
How does that have to do with the hockey?
It sounds kind of like LSD.
What do you think about that?
A little bit of
Yeah, alright.
like LSD.
Movie
Anyway,
idea.
I think we're gonna sign off on this podcast.
Michael Scott movie idea.
And so here you heard it from our guest
Hey,
speaker.
don't cut off the. Don't cut.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You know what? You go ahead. You know what? You
Come on, go, buddy. Run with the ball.
All right, you run the ball.
Do you have
go
anything
ahead.
else you want to talk about?
Yeah, it's become talk radio. So you go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm going to Europe in 2 days. Yeah.
Over
So
under
let-
over
yeah.
under on Vagine.
You know what? Actually, that's a good
3.5.
topic to bring. Get fuck off.
What'd you say?
Over under on a
2.5? No way.
3.5?
3.5.
3.5.
I'll take that one.
I'll take over. Yeah.
I
I think you'll.
No, I'll take under.
I think you'll get at least 4 Vagine.
You need a little bit of subcontext.
3.5. What
Okay.
the hell is it?
There's
3.5.
there's
So
13
3 or 4
countries,
higher.
90 days.
Either for 90 days.
One per day? One per month?
No, I'm saying 5.
5.
So you're taking over.
We
on
need
3.5.
conclusive evidence. We can't.
Yeah,
just
we need-
Don't make it out in the bed and
We
then
need
nothing
panties.
happens.
We need used condoms. We need.
I wish that I was.
DNA samples.
I wish that I had the confidence, because I don't know if you've ever got this.
You ever
but-
asked Chicken I videotape this?
we once had to find, we once got worried because we were up in Penticton and that whole thing. We were, long story short, you had decided to walk home. We were at Skull Lake And as we're walking back home, we got back before you did, and then we were all worried because you've been gone for like 2 hours, and we're putting our coats on.
I sobered up so well though, a little bit fresher.
We were 4.5 hours, okay, and walked back.
We were all worried, so we put our coats on. We'll go outside to go look for you, and then you walk in the door, and we're like, oh, thank God.
This is gonna be you when you're in like fucking Warsaw, Poland, or something like that. Hey. Listen, can I get a picture while you're blowing me?
Yeah, do you mind?
My friends need proof of at least.
Are you in Canada? This is normal.
I need at least.
Are you going to Ukraine?
No.
Why?
No, I'm not going to Ukraine.
Most beautiful ladies are in Kiev.
Okay.
It's going to East
now you know.
Europe.
Yeah, you know what I am excited for is Greece and Hungary. Did you go there?
I did Hungary, yeah. Budapest.
Why Greece?
Yeah.
Go do
Budapest. I feel like if I'm sitting in a party hostel in Budapest,
you're gonna have a good time there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, get some fucking ladies. Get some dirty
The
boys.
cocaine will be flowing.
Yeah. Well,
Go to.
I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank now.
It would be good. It
The
would.
ruined bars.
I guess rookie running out. If you want to listen to hockey, well, at this point we're digressing a little bit.
Who gives a shit?
This is just we're gonna put this in the middle of the interview. It's gonna be in the middle of the episode. We're gonna be like talking about the St. Louis series, and then we're just gonna throw shoes in the middle.
But are you going to Ireland?
Maybe not.
Irish chicks accent, man. Look out. Actually, no. German's my big thing. German.
You know,
I am going to Germany.
I told you about a friend of mine who went to Ireland, and he came back, and the first thing he had to say was, "All the chicks in Ireland, they're cake faced."
Yes.
What?
I know. You know what? When I was in Europe last year
Love
for
the
the
makeup.
brief period of time, you do, or no, they do. Yeah.
The chicks there.
Although
Really?
there was a bunch of British and like Irish girls that were on stags and whatever else fucking shit they're doing. You know, like they were in Prague and partying it up, and like they were just loaded with makeup. It was like I'm not even interested in you because I'm talking to fucking L'Oreal Palace or whoever you are.
The Brits love Prague.
Yeah.
Why?
It's a party.
It's a cheap city to go to.
It's beautiful.
Really?
It's getaway. Yeah.
The
cheap.
parties there.
I guess so. I've only been to.
Because you think about it, okay.
Well, Amsterdam. That'd be fucking sweet. Like Amsterdam's sweet. Brussels is. London's cool. Paris is cool.
Have you been?
Yes.
Really?
To those countries? Or
You went with the United Nations, didn't you?
yeah.
Okay. No offense, Kurt, but you went with United Nations. All right. I'm talking about partying. I'm talking about banging chicks.
Oh, I got invited to a club crawl in Amsterdam. I got invited to a club crawl and I couldn't go because I wasn't allowed to go.
Believe the story ever.
I couldn't go. I wanted to go, but I couldn't go.
Let me tell you, I was in Amsterdam.
I wasn't allowed to go.
I was invited on a pub crawl. Couldn't go, but hey, crazy time.
You sure you don't want this?
I gotta stay sober.
Why?
Okay. I gotta go back to the fire hall to do a little thing. Shit.
Where are you located anyway?
Hey, what are you, a wise guy or something?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You were gravel dog.
Doesn't need to be public information.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I got a little bit of stuff to do. But anyways, you should go back.
And join that pub crawl this time. They might not invite you though because you turned down the first time.
It was me and three other people. There was a person from Halifax. So like
3 people pub crawl.
no. There's 3 other people with me. And then
It was a Wednesday night. It was one of the stops was karaoke.
no. We were leaving. We did a big tour. We got a little bit high at the. We got high. And
You smoked weed?
I don't do it often. For the record, I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I like drink. I prefer booze 9 times out of 10.
This is going so off the rails. Holy fuck.
At any rate, so there was like me and myself and 2 other companions. We're walking through. We're trying to go back to the train station to catch our train back to Brussels because we had to get back to HQ. At any rate, there's a lady from Halifax. She's like handing out tickets for club crawls.
You're telling me you walked by someone handing out like an advertisement for a book?
Yeah, I did. I'm
That's
sorry.
not a formal invitation.
No. And so they're like, oh, like we got these tickets. Like she goes, oh, where are you guys from?
To anybody.
I'm like, oh, I'm from BC. We're all from BC. And she goes, no fucking way. I'm from Halifax. Blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, this is sweet. Just tell you what, if you guys come, I'll give these tickets for free to this club crawl. And they're like, well, we're sorry, we can't go. Like blah blah blah. Like we've got to go back.
Don't you understand that the real United Nations is all shit faced? I mean, come on.
Well, I know
everybody's drunk in stone.
Well,
carpenters, electricians, fucking lawyers, doctors.
It wasn't until 2010 you couldn't show up drunk.
Until 2010.
In 2010 you couldn't show up drunk.
That is a fun fact.
You couldn't show up to the GA drunk.
Was it 2010?
It was around that time. It was around like at least at the time I learned that it was like 4 years prior. So that was about 2015 I learned that. It's 2011, 2010. You could not show up to the General Assembly wasted.
Now you can.
I don't know if you can anymore, but at any rate, people would show up drunk. Okay. I've been to the United Nations building. I was trying to figure out where they hid the liquor.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Where is it?
That was in New York, but when I was actually in the building. But in terms of that, anyone else. But anyway, Brussels is a major hub for like international organizations.
You want to wrap this up?
And wrap this up. So we've completely digressed from hockey. I'm very sorry.
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
It is playoffs.
Have they given out? But have they given out the league awards yet?
No,
just the ones that are statistical,
like automatic.
Who does Connor McDavid win anything this year?
No, except for he could win the what award?
Hart.
No, well, the other one. He won it last year.
Ted Lindsay.
Ted Lindsay. Yeah, he could win that still. But anyway, thank you for listening. That was some serious digression. We went from hockey to life.
I hope you enjoyed the change up in pace.
Thanks to Dukes for coming out.
Roldo McNeil. He actually did add some life to this conversation.
Yeah, this is good. Anyway, commercial break.
Okay, we're back for the lightning round playoff first round picks NHL. Yes. Tyler, what do you got?
All right, so we got Calgary, Colorado. I'm going to go Calgary in 5. San Jose, Vegas. It's going to be a close one. I'll go Vegas in 7. Nashville, Dallas. Again, close one. Going to go Nashville in 6. Pegs, obviously got this one. 6. Tampa in 5. Tyler. Boston and Toronto. I'm going to take Boston in 6. How are we doing for time? Good. All right. Washington, Carolina. Washington in 5. Pittsburgh is going to take out those shitty Islanders in 6. And that's all I got.
Great picks. All right, Brad. Who you choosing?
All right, so over here, I got Calgary in, I'd say 7. That's gonna go the distance. Calgary's goaltending is gonna be an issue. I'm gonna go Vegas in 5. I don't trust San Jose's goaltending. Nashville in 6, and I'll go Winnipeg.
You wish you were Winnipeg.
In 7.
Full surprise.
I'll have TB in 5. And then I'll have Boston in 6. I agree with Croggy on that one. Washington, same thing. Be Washington 5. And then this one I have Pittsburgh in 6. Totally agree, mostly agree with Croggy. Now, next you have Kurt.
All right, Kurt. How about you, bud?
All right. So here we go. I'm going to say Calgary in 5. San Jose, Vegas. I'm going to say Vegas in 6. Nashville, Dallas. I'm going to say Nashville in 6. Winnipeg, St. Louis. I'm actually going to go a different route. I'm going to say Winnipeg. St. Louis in 7.
Calgary.
Tampa Bay. That's a sweep.
Our first sweep.
Boston, Toronto. I'm going to have to go with the boys in this one. I'm going to say Boston in 6. I'm going to have to go Carolina, Washington. I'm going to say Washington 6. And Pittsburgh, New York Islanders. I'm going to go Islanders in 7. Boom, bam. Let's do it.
Wham, bam, thank you, man.
Cool.
And that wraps it up for today's episode. Yeah. Like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the guest interview from Roldo McNeil. No other than Roldo McNeil. I feel like based on the way this episode went, he'll probably be a reoccurring guest. And but let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, like and subscribe. For Brad and Kurt, this is Tyler, signing off.